Even $100 can be a start of something huge. It can be the start to a mindset shift. 7 years ago, when I started my business with the goal of escaping our financial situation and be able to help my mom financially, I had no money to start. The little money I had, I invested in myself. Here's why. I bought a book for $28 8 years ago, 10 years ago. I was 15, 16. This one book changed my life. I did not even purchase the book. My best friend purchased this book. This book was called The Secret. The book is 100% less than $100, probably $25, $28, $20, something like that. This book changed my whole life, changed the life for my girlfriend, my sister, my mother, my father, thousands of people in my community. 45, 6 and 7 figure earners would have not be created, would not be in this place, in this community. I would have not traveled over 40 countries in the last 3 years. I would have never moved to Dubai. I would have never driven the most beautiful cars, eaten in the best restaurants, talked to the most crazy people, most successful people, if I would have not invested together with my friend, or my friend would have not invested a couple of dollars dedicated for him to learn about success and life and becoming better. And that was the book, The Secret. So yes, $100, sometimes even $1 can change your life, because the decision for success, a decision to learn, and money dedicated, doesn't matter how much it is, for you to grow is always better and will always create experiences, will always create and push you forward and manifest into success than obviously not doing it. So if you are someone that already has listened to the advice of buy books, invest in yourself, blah, 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 to really have the biggest return of investment in yourself is number one, you need a strategy. Number one means, where do you want to go? You need to ask yourself the question, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Write down on a blank sheet of paper, in your book, notebook, or wherever you want to. It's better physical. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to live? Who surrounds you? What car do you drive? What clothes, what brands do you wear? What languages do you speak? How much money do you have? How do you look? How do you feel? All of these things are very important. Once you've figured out step number one for the strategy of really investing in yourself, number two is asking yourself the question, what kind of businesses can take me there? What kind of mentors especially? What kind of systems can take me to my goal? So let's say, for example, 7 years ago, when I was sitting in my kids' playroom, basically, where I started to build my first business, I saw myself living in Dubai. I saw myself with Anita, my girlfriend. I saw ourselves living in front of the Burj Khalifa. I saw myself having beautiful cars, having beautiful people around me, speaking different languages, going to the gym, feeling fit, someone that stands for honesty, for values, for transparency, someone that has a lot of good friends, someone that has a certain smaller group but very high net worth individuals, very kind people, very respected people, someone that has an impact on other people, and someone that travels the world and leads one of the largest trading communities. And exactly that happened. And you might think I'm just saying this for this video, but there's many moments in the past where I wrote out of my books that I still all have in my shelf, where I wrote down, I will live in Dubai, where I wrote down these exact words that I live nowadays, and it's even better than that. So this strategy follows point number one, having a strategy, asking yourself the question, where do you go? Number two, finding a business, a model, a system that can take you there. Now, there are so many different business models. There are so many different mentors and communities, but you need a community, you need a mentor, and you need a business model to become successful. There's one very big paradox when it comes to success. And the paradox is, you need to know where you want to go, but you don't need to know how. That sounds very stupid, because most of the people, and I just said you need a strategy, but it's more important to know where do you want to go. Like sitting in the car and putting in a certain location, where do you want to drive? You don't need to know exactly every turn you take, because step for step you will take decisions based on your navigation system, right? Step for step you will have to take decisions. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? What does it say on the sign? What are the signs? What is the information, right? And that's the same with life and business. You will have to take a step-by-step plan. And I, even when I started my business, I have never thought exactly about how do I get to Dubai? How do I live the lifestyle that I always wanted? But I asked myself the question on a daily basis, what can I do right now that I can go towards success? How many people do I need to call and talk with about my business, approach them about my business so I can make more money? Because more money most of the times leads to better decisions, to the lifestyle that you want. Money is the energy, the tool. And money comes when you have a strategy and you know where you want to go, and you push every day by focusing on small little steps. These small little steps are point number three, which are money making money-making activities. Money-making activities means once you have a goal, a strategy, you're strategizing into the future where you want to be. Number 2, you have a business vehicle. And number 3, you need to identify what are the money-making activities on a daily basis that will take you towards your goal and to your success. Money-making activities, for example, in a sales business is selling the product. Sounds very cliche, sounds very easy, but most people don't do it. Most people, and that's what successful people differentiate from unsuccessful people in the industry of selling, of network marketing, of trading, investing, whatever industry, is that they did not identify what are the basic steps, the repetitive steps, because your repetition is your reputation, right? Again, very important, your repetition, what you repeat every day is one day gonna be your reputation. Most people don't understand what they need to repeat on a daily basis. For example, if you are in a sales business, is talking to customers, forging relations, making approaches, selling them the product, closing them. And the more you do that, the more success you will have. Whether someone else that is in the same industry focuses on looking good, on being in a good desk, on having the best technology, the best phone, the best microphone, the best light, goes to most of the seminars, has a routine on how to get into work, has a balanced lifestyle, whether someone that just focuses on making these calls and sells the product will always make more money. So in business, we have a saying, while the smart ones think about success, the dumb ones just do it and become successful. So most of the times it is better to be ignorant and on fire than having knowledge and being on ice. Ignorance on fire is always better than knowledge on ice. Most people have all the knowledge, they're constantly busy, they are but not productive, they research all the information, everything is perfect, but they don't do what you need to do. You need to define the money-making activities, because the money-making activities, right, will take you to more income and to more money, even if you just have $100. You ask yourself the question, where do you want to go? Strategy. Number 2, you need a business model, or you need something where you can use the $100. If you don't find a business model for $100, even though there is one, right? Even I have a business for you that is $99 a month, right? But if you don't even find one and you don't want to approach me because you have an ego or whatsoever, maybe you take the $100 and you invest them into yourself by understanding and asking yourself the question, what are the vehicles out there? And most vehicles are based on sales. So if you don't have a vehicle right now, I would always focus on learning about sales first, because the skill of selling will always make you money. If you learn the skill of selling, you will conquer any industry anyways, because in any industry, to make money, the ones that sells the product, the service, the whatever, makes most of the money. There's a big example in sports where the promoter of Muhammad Ali, the boxer, made more money than the boxer himself, Muhammad Ali, because promoters, people that put butts into seats, people that fill rooms, people that sell the product, people that bring other people that grab attention, right? They make the money, because attention is currency. So if you can sell, if you can grab attention, right, with social media nowadays, for example, then you lead the market. So if you don't have a business model right now, or you don't know which business model to join, learn and invest into sales. So get the books, like for example, in the description below, I will put my favorite book list of sales books or general information about sales. And then you find a business module. Once you have, for example, more money by working in a sales job, it's no problem, no shame about having a normal job, making money, and then using the money to invest it into your freedom, and then really defining what the money-making activities are in this job. Put more time, more hours than anyone else into the money-making activities by really selling the product, because if you sell the product more than anyone else, if you put in more effort, more work time, you will sell more, which leads then to more money, and this money can then be used to freedom, invest into your business, start your own business, start your own sales business, whatever it is, and then really focus on your target and your goal that we just talked about and getting the right information in. Most people will say first they need to make money and then they will invest. And that is the most stupid thing I've ever seen, because it's like standing in front of a fireplace and asking the fire to give you heat and warmth before you light up the fire and put wood into the fireplace. It doesn't work. We always have to give first before we receive. It is like in a job you work first and then you make money. In a business you work first, then you make money. In investments you invest first, you first take the risk on and then you get the reward, right? So reward always comes after risk. In life, everything is action and reaction. Without no action, there will never be a reaction. Even if you want to manifest the reaction, even if you think positively about it, even if you're grateful for it, even if you auto-suggest it, whatever you do, the reaction will come from pure action. Invest into yourself first, invest into something first is always needed first. You first need to take the risk to then get money and make money. So if you are someone that does not want to invest money first to make money, then you will never be successful. You will never amount more. You will never be greater than anyone else. You always will be average. You always will suck in life, and you will never become successful. Look, before I made hundreds of thousands of dollars in the markets, I started with a couple of cents and a couple of euros. I still remember 2008, I was sitting there in school. We had our computer science course, and I was sitting there researching about Ethereum. Ethereum was at about $10 or $15, I think, or maybe a little bit more, but pretty cheap. And I still remember I figured out how to put some money on Coinbase and buy my first, I don't know, a couple of Ethereums or Ethereum for a couple of dollars. Like, I think I put like $10 or $15 in, and that's how I started. So the more important thing is the constant approach of taking a decision, the constant approach of investing. It doesn't matter how much it is, because the how much will change, but it will not change if you don't do anything. So if you commit to constantly invest, it doesn't matter how much it is, it will create a habit. And this habit is important because you need to create habits of success. Most people, when they start, even with $100, they think it's not enough to make a difference. And let me tell you that it doesn't matter how much money, at least it's a little bit more than 1 cent. If it's dedicated into putting it into yourself, it will always result in more success than less success. Look, most people suffer through life all the time because they are frozen. They don't take decisions. They have so much knowledge. They are so intelligent about it. They have so much knowledge acquired about businesses, but they never start their own business. They're always constantly scared about the outcome, about the economy. They don't want to invest because they don't think it's a perfect price. But I've found out in life that the ones that take decisions fast and even use smaller amounts of resources and money or energy, or it doesn't matter what, to dedicate it for themselves or into themselves to get a return by growing, making more experiences, getting into different networking groups, making more money, making good investments. It is the wrong mindset. The right mindset is it doesn't matter how much you have, you need to invest it into yourself. Even if you don't have $100, it doesn't matter. You can do it with $1. Just the mindset alone, creating the mindset of looking forward to ask yourself the question, what kind of resources do you have? Even if you're completely broke, busted, and disgusted, you don't have any money. Sometimes asking people for help can help you. I still remember when I did not even have 1 cent on my bank account. I didn't even have a bank account, and I wanted to start this business. I still remember I went up to my mom. I asked her for $50. I went to my sister. I asked her for $50. She didn't want to give me the $50, so I robbed her piggy bank, which I would not advise anyone to do. But by me finding solutions, asking myself the question, how can I come up with money to start this business? And funny enough, the first license, the first distribution license for my business was 99 euros. And again, 50 euros of it I took from my mom. I asked my mom, she lended me the money, and the other 50 I asked my sister. She didn't give them to me, but I took it from her. She didn't need it. It wasn't her piggy bank. She didn't even notice it. I put it back, but that changed my life. Sometimes, even if you have nothing, just by the qualitative question, asking yourself, how can I get to resources? What can I do? Who can I talk to? Who can I ask for help? There's no shame on asking for help, because if I would have not asked for help, and if I would have not be bold about getting this license for $99 to start my first distribution business in network marketing, I would have never been where I am today. So having no resources is no excuse, because one of the most important skills in business is being resourceful and coming up with solutions even though you don't have anything. The compounding effect is, at the end of the day, what really matters here the most. The compounding effect is the theory of small wins compounding to a very big win. Like I made the example of putting these small puzzles together. Sometimes there's these very small puzzles. In the beginning, it's a complete mess. It's a whole mess. It makes no sense. It seems like it will take years for you to accomplish this beautiful picture that you see on the packaging, right? And then you start with your little sister or toddler or whoever, you start to piece together, and it makes sense. For example, if you have a horse picture, then you have, for example, the face of the horse, right? Or you have the back of the horse, and you kind of see all of this coming together. And at one point, after you push through, right, by focusing step on step, putting these small puzzles together, right, compounding small wins will then lead to the bigger picture. So small every day, micro wins, which we call them in success, we call them micro wins, small accomplishments every day will push and boost you, will make you feel better. That's why when I wake up, the first thing I do is I try to accomplish small things. I make my bed, accomplishment number 1. I drink my coffee, accomplishment number 2. I go into my office and I write down in my book of gratitude 4 things I'm grateful for, small accomplishment. Then I start to answer first messages, small accomplishment. I go through all of my emails, I answer them, small accomplishment. And all of these small accomplishments then lead into me going into the gym. Bigger accomplishment. Now I feel even better about myself. Then I start to have my first Zoom calls. I close some people. I make some money. More energy, right? I take more energy out of this small win. And at the end of the day, it was a successful day. And this successful day then pieced together will lead into successful weeks into successful month, and successful month into successful years, and successful years into a successful life, business, success in any area of life. Because everyone, it doesn't matter who, they won because they compounded small wins, small investments into themselves, small investments into their business, every day learning a little bit, every day one chapter, one page, every day one video, every day one course, every day one new experience, every day one big mistake, and all of this compounds into a beautiful picture of success.